I completely overslept this morning. I didn't think I was tired, but I slept until 7:15 when I was awoken by a knock on the bedroom door. "Mr. Faulkner, you have missed breakfast," said the voice in the hallway. I jumped out of bed, got dressed as fast as I could, and headed for the dining room. I managed to get a semmel with salami and brie, and a mug of coffee. So not too bad in the end. Just a bit of a mad dash to make sure I got something to start the day. After breakfast we had group therapy for 75 minutes. Nothing too hard, just coming up with strategies for dealing with interpersonal stress. Was all good fun and we had it nailed down in about 45 minutes, so we drank a coffee and chatted for the rest of the time. The games room had become very messy over the weekend, as many hours of darts had been played. It's an indoor safety darts machine with those plastic-tipped darts. It's a great system that allows the use of darts in a confined space, by people who might not be 100% trustworthy with real darts. Sadly, there is a downside. You have to regularly change the tips as they get bent out of shape. It's only a 10-second job, so no real hardship there. But it does mean that many small bits of plastic that need to be disposed of. Is there a bin available? Yes. Does anyone use it? No, of course not. So today I cleaned the windows, swept and mopped the floor, dusted the sills, and polished the machines. Didn't think I had done too bad a job. That was until BB came a knocking on my door. "Can you come with me?" he said. "Of course, how can I help?" He led me to the table football machine, and pointed to some what looked like dried water marks on the glass, and said, "You haven't cleaned this, it's still dirty," and licked his finger and started rubbing at the marks. "BB," I said, "those marks are on the underside of the glass." This bit of information didn't seem to put him off, as he just stopped rubbing with his finger, and started to try and scratch it off with his nails. "BB," I repeated, "they are on the underside of the glass, you can't clean them off." BB scrubbed harder. "BB, the marks are inside the machine." Slowly, very slowly, the realization of what a tool he looked like dawned on him. BB looked deflated and said, "Well, it's got streak marks on it." Which is sort of an admission that he knew it had been cleaned. What makes this all the funnier, is I've been here 6 days and I know the marks are on the inside of the machine, while BB, the man who absolutely insisted the marks were new from the weekend, and that it hadn't been cleaned properly, has been here 11 weeks. I mean, that glass had marks inside it when I was here in 2017, not as many, but some. BB had clearly never even looked at that machine before, but felt confident enough in himself and his observational skills to try and give me a dressing down over not cleaning uncleanable glass. Twat. Someone has a birthday today. I know this because there is a Sachertort in the dining room. Sachertort is a traditional and highly regarded cake in Austrian culture. It's basically just chocolate cake with apricot jam on the middle and chocolate icing. Doesn't sound too special, does it? That's because it's not. It's incredibly average in every possible way. Absolutely nothing about this cake makes it stand out, apart from the price. A small 4 to 6 slice cake can be 30, 40, sometimes 50 euros, for what is basically a chocolate sponge. It's quite the most overpriced thing I have ever seen, and I've been in Swarovski. Let's jump back now to Friday evening, when I caught up with 2 more of my old housemates, the tubby bitch and his wife Claudia. TB and I shared 2 houses together, the first one with Tin Ribs, the second with Claudia. The first house was not just a party house, it was the party house. To put it in perspective for you, we had, in the sitting room, seating for 10 people, and floor space for many more. If when you left work you stopped for petrol, it was not uncommon for you not to be able to get into your own sitting room, on a weekday, because there were too many people already there. The second house, with Claudia, was much more civilized. We got blackout drunk on wine instead of Stella, and not every single night of the week. Progress was being made. Tin Ribs, the tubby bitch, and Claudia are the sort of friends where you cannot speak for months, sometimes a year at a time, and just pick up the conversation where you left it. Like you had just popped into the kitchen to make a pot of tea. For those of you wondering what Tin Ribs and TB called me, it was chicken legs. In the space of about 12 months in 1999 and 2000 I made more friends that have stuck with me than at any other time of my life. We all lived in a small and somewhat strange market town, but it was possibly the most fun years of my life, so far. Did some HIIT training today to spice up the routine. Supersets of bench and bicep, sit-up and Russian twist, and tricep, and pecs. 30 minutes hard and fast work, and then off to dinner. Because I have no more therapy today, I might go and use the bike machine while I do my Mandarin. I'll definitely try, whether it works remains to be seen.